So for me, gardening was an accident. It was a pure and complete accident. I had grown up as a very outdoorsy person, from here, but grew up in Alaska. And so what I did before I really dove into gardening, I was just a worker, like in a mall, in an office, in somebody else's corporation, building somebody else's dreams. And I really I didn't know what to do with myself. I felt like I didn't really have an identity. I didn't really have a purpose or an idea of what I was supposed to do with my life. And then I started having children, and so then I felt like I was locked in a house with, taking care of and feeding and cleaning up after children. And I just felt like I was slowly, maybe I didn't even know who myself was, right? Because you're that age, 25, 26 years old, and you're like, I don't know who I am. But I felt myself slipping away. Like I felt like any semblance of what I thought I was just becoming an automaton. Like I was a cleaner, I was a cooker, I was a, caretaker, but I wasn't anything of myself. And so once my kids were toddler size, I knew I needed to do something, but I didn't know what it was. I really didn't. And so then the gardening thing was a pure, serendipitous moment where we bought a house that had a nice-ish yard, and I knew that I couldn't be locked in my house. But previous to that, we had been renters, and so then couldn't really change anything, couldn't really do anything in a rental. Container potting wasn't a thing yet. Like you didn't know about that. There was just no concept other than something really interesting. The DIY shows were just getting started in this era for me. And so there was quilting shows, and there was cooking shows, and then a guy named P. Allen Smith kind of came out and started talking about gardening and gardening rooms and doing this, and I just thought, what is this magic, kind of a thing. And I got his book from the mid-90s, and I poured over this book, but I didn't have a place or the concept that I could create anything like that because I was living in rentals with 4 toddlers, basically, and my husband, obviously. And so then we finally get a house, and I was like, I'm going to be a gardener. I'm going to make garden rooms. I'm going to do this thing. And, the rest became history.